loves, welcome to my channel Sun Love Stars. Welcome to today's pick a card reading. Today's pick a card reading is probably something that you guys are going to really enjoy, because I was asking your spirit guides, or I was asking spirit, that we get information about your meeting with your future spouse. I want you guys to know that I'm probably not going to go into when you're going to meet your future spouse unless the universe really wants to talk about it, because I feel like there should always be a hint of mystery and a hint of miracles. Like if you would know the exact date, the exact time and stuff like that, that's not the point of tarot. The point of tarot is to read energy, but not to micromanage the universe, if that makes sense. And it would not be as beautiful and as, miraculous if you would know the exact time, the exact day and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go into it, but what we're going to go into is everything that you need to know about the meeting. Okay, so I was asking your spirit guides, what is something that you need to know about the meeting with your true love and your future spouse? Okay, so whatever you need to know about them, what you need to know about the meeting, what you need to know about what is happening with you as you meet this person, whatever the universe wants to talk about today, whatever your spirit guides want to talk about today, okay? This reading is also going to have an extended as usual. You can find the link down in the description box where you can look, or where you can watch the extended. And in the extended, I want to dive into what you can do in order to attract your future spouse, or maybe to even speed up the process, meaning that sometimes we have certain blockages, certain belief systems that hold us back from achieving something. Now time is just an illusion, right? Time is a man-made concept, but if we stay in the man-made concept to where you can speed up attracting your future spouse, or where you can speed up you guys meeting each other, if that makes sense, or influence the speed of something manifesting or coming into your world, into your reality, okay? Because if we don't think about man-made concepts, in the universe is not made out of time, so it's just happening, right? If there is no time, it just means it is happening. When is it happening? It's just happening on a random day. Okay, but again, on Patreon, we're going to look at what you can do in order to attract your future spouse, what is important for you to focus on before you meet your future spouse, before you meet the love of your life, before you are finally with the person that you're meant to be with and meant to procreate with and meant to explore and experience the universe with, okay? So if you are interested in that, how to attract your future spouse, what you should focus on right here, right now, so that you are ready when your future spouse stands in front of you, the link is down in the description box, and I'm going to see you on Patreon. But without further ado, and I'm also going to talk about where you will possibly meet your future spouse, okay? This is something that I'm going to talk about probably on YouTube. I'm not quite sure yet. It depends on how long I'm going to talk, because you guys know me. If you don't know me, my name is Cynthia. Hello. But for those who do know me, I talk a lot, and it's like I have one card in my hands and I usually pull a lot of cards, and then one card I already talk 15 minutes about one card, and then it's kind of like I do talk like a waterfall when I channel energy. So without further ado, in the next clip, you can choose between 3 images. If you feel super duper indecisive, go on Google, find a number generator, pray to God, pray to the universe, pray to your spirit guides to guide you to the right pile, or to guide you to the pile that resonates with you the most, or the information that you need to receive, okay? And then the number generator will spit out a number. So without further ado, I'm going to see in your reading, guys, and we're going to find out what do you need to know about how you will meet your future spouse, or about the meeting itself, okay? I'm going to see you there, guys. And possibly where you will meet. I'm going to see in your reading, guys. Hello my lovely pile number one, welcome to your reading. Okay, we're gonna look at how you will meet your future spouse today. If you did not watch the intro, I was asking your spirit guides in the universe to tell us everything that you need to know about your future spouse. So that means we're not going to go into when you will meet your future spouse, like the exact time, the exact date, because I don't believe in like revealing every detail, which is also not the purpose of tarot. To reveal everything, you know, because then the miraculous energy is not there anymore. So we're probably not going to look at when it is going to happen. We might look at events that would take place before you meet your future spouse. We might look at energies that would tell you, ooh, you know, like I'm not quite there yet, meaning like, oh, okay, so if I work on that, I'm closer to my future spouse, you know, when I'm in that energy that I'm describing here in the reading. Or you might be finding yourself like, oh, I'm in that energy right now. So because the concept of time is man-made, right? If it's according to the universe, it's always now, it's always the present moment, it's always now. So if we would look at the universe from a perspective of there is no time, and you ask the question, when am I going to meet my future spouse, the answer is it's happening, or the answer would be now. Now we don't know which now. It could be now in 2 weeks, but it's still going to be the present moment. Does that make sense? So time is only man-made. We're not going to look at timing. We're going to look at energy surrounding the meeting. We're going to look at anything and everything that you need to know about the meeting, okay? So you chose this beautiful image here. Let's find out how you're going to meet your future spouse, everything that you need to know about the meeting with the love of your life and your future spouse, okay? So the first thing that I want to tell you guys, I'm going to channel, in case you are new here, I'm going to channel the energy first, and then I'm going to show you the cards and what I'm seeing here. So pile number one, the first thing that I want to tell you guys is, first of all, I heard a British accent. Like I literally heard like a British accent where somebody was talking in like a beautiful accent here, okay? So if you have a British accent or you come from that area, this is definitely your confirmation that this is your pile, okay? But there could also be an energy where your future spouse and your true love might have like a British accent, or they might have like a, how do you say that? They might have an accent, but I more so feel like this person speaks English. Or they could be somebody who's really good at speaking English or something along those lines. Let's say, for example, they're like from Brazil. But I'm also hearing they speak very eloquently. So they speak like very classy or something very eloquently and stuff like that, okay? Or again, it could be you that you have somehow British roots or something along those lines, okay? So somebody here could also be watching me from London, or your future spouse could be from London, or the city London could be important. For example, you meet a man, you meet a woman, and you feel this spark and this energy, and you feel like, oh my god, I think this is it. I'm not sure, but my gut feeling is telling me that it's them, or my gut feeling is telling me this is true love. And then you happen to hear this person say, I'm going on vacation to London, or I just came from London. That would just be an indication that it is in alignment with this reading, meaning that this is most likely going to be your future spouse, okay? Just to keep that in mind. Okay, now let's talk about what I'm seeing here. It's funny because I was asking your spirit guides, what do you need to know about the meeting with your future spouse? And I was just shuffling the cards. This is like a very open-end question. And I immediately saw the energy of your future spouse and your energy, which is super duper funny and really, really beautiful here. It's this energy of that I pick up the energy of your future spouse, and I pick up the energy of you, which tells me that you and your future spouse, you guys are already connected, kind of like telepathically, or you guys are not that far away from each other. Because again, I literally felt like, okay, boops, here's your future spouse, boops, here's you. And this was not planned. I was not planning to arrange the cards in a way where the energy of your future spouse is coming out and the energy of you. So overall, I'm picking up this energy that you're very, very close to your future spouse, or that there's already a very deep telepathic connection between the two of you, where you maybe hear this person's like voice in your dreams, or they hear your voice in their dreams. Because if we look at those two cards, okay, so this is your future spouse, or the other way around, and this is you here. Okay, for some of you guys, if you are somebody who's into meditation, who's into relaxation, who is into spa and wellness, who is into mental health, okay, this is also definitely your confirmation that you're on the right path, because I feel like that energy is you. It's kind of like when you meditate, when you close your eyes, when you feel extremely relaxed and very connected and in alignment, when you focus on your breath, okay? But again, the most important detail here is that these eyes are closed. Her eyes are closed. And then here, this is your future spouse, and you can tell he's doing the same thing but in a different way. This energy is more like daydreaming. This energy is more like contemplating, but more so in an inspirational way, kind of like, I wonder what is out there, or I wonder what it feels like, or I wonder what she looks like. I wonder if I will ever get married. It's kind of like this energy of like, I wonder, okay? Which also brings me to the song Lemon Tree. I'm sitting here in a boring room. It's just another rainy Sunday afternoon. I'm wasting my time, I got nothing to do. I'm hanging around and I'm waiting for you, but nothing ever happens. And I wonder. And it's funny because this person is sitting on a tree here. Okay, so I feel like this is the energy of your future spouse. Your future spouse currently is an energy of dreaming of romance. They're dreaming. It's kind of like, if I could describe the energy for me, it feels like your future spouse is currently dreaming you into existence, if that makes sense. So if you feel very strongly the energy of like love, or how can I even describe that energy? It's kind of like when you start to notice like, I feel very, very romantic, you know, out of nowhere, or I have romantic dreams. And I have dreams where I'm kissed and I'm loved and stuff like that, or I feel strong love, or somebody's loving me, and I don't know where this energy comes from. It's actually coming from your future spouse, because again, they're currently dreaming your connection into existence. Because the Knight of Cups is an energy where somebody is, you know, like fascinated by romance, and they contemplate about romance, and they contemplate about soulmates and twin flames, and this person's probably also looking at like, you know, like videos where people talk about how they met each other. Your person, your future spouse, is very, very romantic. Okay, now since we have two energies here, okay, you have to decipher what energy you are, but I feel like this is your future spouse, and I feel like this is you. Now, if you feel like the description of this card is more connected to how you feel right now, and you don't feel that much connected to that one, that means that your future spouse is this side, okay? So just listen to me and see and decipher which energy is your energy, because energy is, you know, very fluid, and it depends on who I'm picking up on right now. Okay, so this person is probably looking at like people, you know, like how they met, and like romantic movies, listening to romantic music, and just thinking about like, oh my god, you know, I would love to dance to that song, or I would love to, like, this is the song that I would play on my wedding, at my wedding, you know, like, or where they contemplate about like their dream woman, their dream man, and what this person would look like, and what this person would sound like. Okay, and as they imagine, as they are in this imaginative energy, they start to get glimpses of you, if that makes sense, because what they dream of in essence is you. So when they are in this dreamy energy, they start to get glimpses of you, or they might even meet people. Now hear me out. They might even meet people that are close to who you are, but not quite there yet. Okay, so for example, this person's looking for a woman that is like Erykah Badu, very spiritual and stuff like that, and they meet a woman, or they meet a man that has the spiritual energy, and then soon they realize, oh, you know, this person looked very spiritual, but they're not quite what I want. It's like I think there's somebody that is a better fit for me, but they start to come across people, and they start to maybe like see people where they're like, oh, I wish, you know, like that would be my ideal type, that would be my ideal woman, my ideal man. But as they do that, they come closer and closer and closer to your energy, if that makes sense, because they become more clear about who they want as a partner, if that makes sense. Okay, so your future spouse is currently in an energy where they daydream a lot. They probably listen to like sexy songs, very romantic songs. They dream about like going on vacation with their true love and their future spouse. Your future spouse is in a very, 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 very imaginative energy right now, which is like, I feel like your future spouse is also a very, very good manifester, because if you are in this dreamy, imaginative energy, it's very easy, like the flow is very easy, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm picking up this energy that your future spouse right now is contemplating about, does true love exist? Does the person that, you know, like that I dream of, do they exist? Okay, I said it in a lot of readings, but there could be a possibility where your future spouse already had a dream of you, or already had a dream of somebody that was you. But how can I explain that? It's kind of like this person might have had your voice, this person might have had your eyes in that dream, but since they don't know what you look like, it might not be like 100% you, but the essence or the energy was you in their dream. Okay, so they could be thinking about like, you know, I had this romantic dream and I felt so loved by this woman, by this man in my dream, and I want to go back to that dream. I want to meet this man. Does this woman even exist? Okay, so they're currently in that energy of like imagining, and this energy of like every time they lay in bed, every time they take a break at work, your spirit guides are here. Every time they take a break at work, and we have to talk about that specific sentence, every time they take a break at work, because that's significant here. Your future spouse is kind of like a workaholic, I'm not gonna lie, or they sometimes overdo it. They sometimes get burned out, or they sometimes burn a candle on two ends. What I'm picking up here is your future spouse currently is in an energy where they start to really fantasize, and where they start to get very, very emotional. They might even get emotional in a sense where they maybe cry because they feel alone, or they cry, and it's like this energy of like realizing, okay, let me say it like this, okay, because I'm picking up an energy here where your future spouse is somebody who works very, very hard, and I'm going to get into that energy here. Okay, so I'm picking up an energy that your future spouse is somebody who works very, very hard, almost to the point where they burn both ends of a candle, or where they burn out, or where they, you know, those stories, I don't know, like I've heard some stories where doctors in a hospital were doing like a 24-hour shift, and then they fainted because they didn't eat, they didn't drink, they were working until they drop. Okay, so your future spouse is somebody who works until they drop, which is something that you probably have to kind of like work on with your future spouse, because I feel like your future spouse is not good at taking breaks, or not good at relaxing, or they feel like there's always something to do, and they kind of like they don't allow themselves to take a breather. Now hear me out. What I'm picking up here is that your future spouse is currently in an energy where they accomplished something. Okay, because we have the card here, dolphin, financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. Okay, and with this dolphin here, and especially because the Knight of Chalice is here, looks like a man or an individual that is taking a break. It tells me that around the time where you meet your future spouse, and also something that you need to know, because this is the reason why you have not met them yet, because your future spouse is somebody who is laser focused. If they have a goal to manifest an apartment before they go out dating, they have a priority list, and their priority list is, I want to be successful first at losing weight, at gaining muscle, at, you know, like manifesting this apartment. Because your future spouse is almost like, the energy of your future spouse is like, I want to be the best version of myself until I meet pie number one. So if you think about, why did I not meet my future spouse yet, is because your future spouse is very freaking laser focused on achieving certain things, and they don't want to have any distractions around them. Okay, because it's like an energy of like, they want to feel good as an individual before they come into your life. So they are extremely laser focused on achieving something, and they're like, it's kind of like working till you drop. Or I'm also hearing the song by Britney Spears, you better work, bitch. Okay, so your future spouse is somebody who believes in hard work. They believe in hard work and then pleasure. Okay, because some people, and there's nothing wrong with it, but some people, they believe in oh, you know, like hard work, balancing out with pleasure, which is a beautiful energy because we need balance, right? But your future spouse is very hardcore, okay? They're like, I'm gonna put all my energy and all my effort into this business, into this thing, into losing weight and stuff like that, and until then I'm not allowing myself to fall in love. I'm not allowing myself to feel pleasure. I'm not allowing myself to daydream and stuff like that, okay? Which again is the reason why you did not meet your future spouse yet. If you think, where's my future spouse? They're currently dreaming, they're currently manifesting and really building something so that they become the best version of themselves. Maybe they feel like, which is actually a very healthy attitude, maybe they feel like, man, I was so insecure in my last relationship and I don't want to bring all my insecurities into my next relationship, and I don't want to bring all my insecurities into my marriage. So let me work on my insecurities, and if I feel stable, because if you think about it, they actually care for you. They don't want to bring their their insecurities into the relationship with you, so they try to work it out before they meet you so that you don't get the bad treatment, or that you don't have to deal with those kind of insecurities, if that makes sense, okay? So your future spouse is currently working on themselves, but I'm picking up an energy around the time where you meet your future spouse. They will be in an energy of like, okay, I achieved almost everything, or even everything on my to-do list. I achieved there's this energy with the dolphin here, because again the dolphin says financial gain, okay? So your future spouse probably has like a, and the dolphin is also like a creature. First of all, I'm being brought to the movie Lucy. Somebody's name could be Lucy, somebody's name could start with an L, your future spouse's name could start with an L, or the movie Lucy could be significant here, okay? I'm also hearing the city Paris, or just Europe in general. If you are from Europe, this is also definitely your pal, because I'm picking up a lot of European cities and stuff like that, but it doesn't have to be, okay? So now with this card here, the dolphin is like a sea creature that loves to dive really, really deep in the ocean and then come back up, you know? You see how, you know, there's certain fish that just swim, you know, on one level. Now a dolphin wants to reach the height, because I'm seeing like an image of a dolphin, and the dolphin is swimming in the air. Swimming in the air. The dolphin is flying in the air, coming out of the depth of the ocean. And I'm seeing behind the dolphin there's like a sun. So there's this energy of like your future spouse is somebody, they want to reach, they want to become the best at something, they want to reach really high heights, they want to reach huge goals. So around the time where you meet your future spouse, they probably reached a huge goal. This could be a huge goal financially, meaning that they always wanted to buy this apartment, to have this car, to have this apartment, to have this position in the company, to build their own business. Around the time where you meet your future spouse is a time where they achieved something big, okay? They achieved something huge that they probably have worked on for years. And when they achieve that, they feel like, okay, now I live in my dream apartment. Now I am ready to meet pie number one. Now I am ready to open my heart to love. Now I am open to daydream. Now I am open to manifest love, okay? So your future spouse has like a structure. They don't like to switch things up, and they don't like to change things. Their goal is, let me become the best version of myself before I fall in love, before I procreate, before I have children, or before I let somebody else into my life. I want to be stable. I want to achieve something huge in my life. And there's this energy of they want to become the best version of themselves. So again, if you feel like, man, why did I not meet my future spouse yet? It's because your future spouse is in the energy of achieving something huge that took them years or months, or that takes a lot of energy and takes a lot of focus and even discipline, okay, that restricts them from dating, because what is most important to them is that they can kind of like provide for their family or provide for their children, or that they come into a relationship as beautiful as they can without certain insecurities. Maybe, for example, they have an insecurity with money. This would be the type of person to focus on, okay, I have an insecurity with money. And if I have an insecurity with money, because your future spouse is somebody who thinks long term, okay? So they don't think short term. This is also not the type of person who gets tempted by fast gratification, or this is a person that says hard work and then pleasure. It's never pleasure and then hard work. Okay, so your future spouse is a type of person, again, they want to know that they worked hard for something, so that their break is that they earned their break, they earned their respect. This is somebody who likes to earn respect, who likes to earn their break, and no, I'm taking a break now because I worked really, really hard for something. Okay, so when you meet your future spouse, they will probably tell you in the first weeks and months that you guys meet, they will tell you, I recently manifested my dream apartment, I recently reached my financial goal, I recently reached my goal with my business. Okay, this is something that your future spouse would tell you in a conversation. Like maybe they would tell you, I haven't been on a dating pool for a long time, or maybe they would tell you, oh, it's my first date since 2 years because I was so focused on achieving something, or it's my first date since 1 year. Or they might even be telling you like, I used to be a person who had no discipline, so I tried to develop more discipline, or that discipline is very important for them, or hard work is very important for them, or building a business is very important for them. Okay, now I already know this is going to be a super duper long reading, but I love you guys, and if you already know me, you know that this is usually what happens, because now I'm being brought, I have been watching a lot of near-death experiences from people. There's how do you say that, there's a channel where there's a lot of people being interviewed. So if you're interested in that, let me know that in the comments, and I'm going to tell you what the channel is called. But there was a guy, and it's so interesting why I'm being brought to that, but there was a guy, it was like an older man, and he talked about how he was an atheist and he didn't believe in God, he didn't believe in angels, he didn't believe in all of that. What he believed in was success. What he believed in was like, the most important thing is not faith, is not God, is not love, it's success. Okay, and then he had a near-death experience, and he was a very successful, well-respected man. And then he had a near-death experience, and then he realized that although he achieved so much success, it didn't mean much on the other side, because he didn't really impact other people's life, if that makes sense. So there could be an energy where your future spouse will probably have some type of like, I'm hearing they will have an ego death before they meet you, so that they don't come into your connection with like this false sense of value. Okay, there's nothing wrong with, you know, like being drawn to making a lot of money and stuff like that and building stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, unless it's the only thing that you care about or the only thing that brings value to you. Then it becomes a problem. Now I'm picking up the energy that your future spouse will probably have some type of ego death, or maybe even go through a near-death experience, or like a spiritual awakening, or some type of like ego death where they stand in front of like, it doesn't have to be that way, but for some of you guys I feel like it is gonna be this way, and your future spouse might even talk to you about that. Okay, so you can also make like a list of if you want to, of like the signs how you know that this is like your true love, or the person that you're probably gonna marry. So this person, your future spouse, will be in a place where they achieve something and it's huge and it's big, and then they stand in front of it and they're like, I thought I would be happier, or I thought I would be, you know, like I would feel better about it, or I thought this would be a more rewarding energy, or realizing that the ecstasy that you feel as you achieve something doesn't last very long. It's kind of like, oh, a few days, maybe like 1 week, where you feel this high that you achieved something, but then it cools down again, and then you kind of like start at zero. Not really, but it's kind of like then this energy is not there anymore, and then they realize, I think I'm ready for love, or I think I'm ready to, you know, I think I'm ready to share my success with another person. I'm also hearing happiness is only real when shared. So they will have some type of energy where they feel like it's so beautiful to have all these things, but it's more beautiful to share it with somebody. Or who did I do it for? Because I did it, I thought I'm doing this for myself, but why doesn't it fulfill me? So they realize they find more pleasure in giving gifts. They find more pleasure in helping. They find more pleasure in like giving rather than receiving. Okay, so I feel like your future spouse is somebody who thinks they like receiving, but then they realize that they like giving more, if that makes sense. And then we always have to have a giver and a receiver. That's like the beautiful harmony between these two energies. So your future spouse will be in a position where they're like, okay, so here I am. I achieved what I have been working on for years, and what now? Where do I go from here? What am I going to do next? And then they realize, I feel like I'm longing for love. I feel like I'm longing for a family. I feel like I'm longing for children. I feel like I'm longing for romance. I feel like I'm longing to go on vacation with a person that I love. I want to be on vacation with the love of my life. Like, for example, they achieve something. And then people are like, let's say, for example, even they have like a big group of friends and stuff like that. And, you know, like friends or even family can only give you love to a certain extent. It's never going to be the same. I mean, in essence, it is the same love. But, you know, the beautiful energy about romance is that there's an intimacy that you feel with your true love and your future spouse that you cannot experience with family and friends, because the closeness is different, if that makes sense, right? So there's an energy where your future spouse will somehow dream of, or guys, let me tell you something. If you have been seeing a country, or if the universe has been telling you you will travel somewhere or you will go somewhere, or something about traveling, and you're like, you were asking yourself, what the fuck do you mean? Like, I don't have the money to travel. I don't even know what these tarot readers mean with me traveling. I don't see this happening anytime soon. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. Or where they tell you about like a city and you're like, they have been mentioning that city very often, but I am not connected to that city. I don't have any connection to that city. Let me tell you, do you know why you get this energy of like you either moving, relocating, or you feeling very, very drawn to a country, or you seeing over and over and over again like a country or a city or something along those lines? It is because you receive the waves or the energy or even the thoughts of your future spouse. Your future spouse is imagining going on a vacation with you. Of course, going on a vacation with the person that they love, with the person that they want to be loyal to, with the person that they want to open up and trust, right? They want to share their life with this person, which is you. But there's an energy where they imagine going on a vacation with you. So there, it's funny because I wanted to do a reading on what is your future spouse's fantasy. And I feel like in this case, your future spouse's fantasy is going on vacation with you. Kind of like being by a beach or going on vacation, and they imagine how they celebrate their success with their true love and their future spouse somewhere in a beautiful country, or somewhere partying with their loved one. But it's like traveling overseas or by a beach, or they might even be like, how do you say that, imagining how they travel with you to their home country, which is something maybe they've always wanted to do, like going back to your home country, showing your family your beautiful wife, your beautiful husband, you know, which was maybe always something that they have been longing for. So again, once they achieved some type of financial success, that's when they will feel like, now I am ready to love, now I'm ready to go back to the dating pool, which is also the reason why you will then meet your future spouse, if that makes sense, okay? So they somehow imagine going on vacation with you. They imagine watching the sunset with you. They imagine being in a particular place, like something about they want to travel with their loved one. Okay, this person has imagines like a romantic vacation with their true love and their future spouse, which again could be the reason why you have a feeling of you will be traveling, you will be relocating. There could be certain countries or cities popping up over and over and over again, and you have no freaking idea why you see Italy everywhere. Everywhere you see Italy, and you have no connection to Italy. It is because the waves of your future spouse are reaching you, okay? So they could be thinking about, oh, I would love to be on vacation with pile number one in Italy. And then you're like, why the fuck do I see Italy everywhere? Does that make sense? Something along those lines. So I definitely feel like you are already receiving waves. I feel like you are a very, 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 very highly either spiritual or empathic, or you do I would not be surprised if you tell me that you sometimes read people's mind, or that you sometimes people told you like, how did you know that I was thinking about that, or something along those lines. You're definitely the type of person who receives, like, you can, I'm picking up the energy of telepathic communication, which is interesting because I was watching near-death experiences, and in almost every, because I wanted to know what they see, you know, on the other side. And then they talked about how on the other side they don't really talk in words, they talk telepathically. So on the other side, what they've experienced is telepathic communication, where you just look at the person and you can read this person's mind. You know what they want to tell you without them even moving their mouth. Okay, this is something that I feel like you either might not be noticing, that you are actually gifted with being able to telepathically know or to read people's mind, or something along those lines. For some of you guys, this might be something that you want to tap into, because I feel like for somebody here, for somebody here, you are really like gifted with telepathy, or gifted with mind reading, okay, or something about like gifted with like knowing what another person is thinking about. I'm being brought to, like, do you know that one movie where the guy is saying he wishes that he knew what women are thinking about, and then he's hearing all the thoughts? And I'm also being brought to that one movie by Jim Carrey where he's playing God, and I think in that movie he is hearing the prayers of humanity, and it's like it drives him crazy. Okay, so I would definitely not be surprised if you tell me, because now I'm diving into your energy. Okay, so your future spouse is kind of like, I want to know if true love exists. I want to know if that woman or that man that I see in my dreams exists. I want to know if I can fall in love. They might even be asking themselves, I've never felt, I was never really in love. I want to know if I can fall in love. And there's this energy of like challenging the universe, because again, your future spouse has an energy where they like to challenge themselves. Okay, so they would be the type of person, you know how some people are scared to fall in love? They would be like, okay, I'm scared to fall in love, but first of all, one, I want to know if true love exists. Two, if I'm really able to fall in love, because maybe again, they might have been in an energy where they never felt that they could fall in love with somebody, and they want to know, is something wrong with me, or did I not meet the right person yet, which is the reason why I did not fall in love yet. So this person, your future spouse, will be asking themselves a lot of questions about love, which is the reason why they will end up with you. They will be asking themselves, does true love exist? They will be asking themselves, is it true that people are destined to be together? They will be asking themselves, do soulmates and twin flames exist? Is this really real, or is this something that people just make up? They will be asking themselves, in so many romantic movies, you see like serendipity, how two people meet. Is this really something that could happen? You know, is this really something? Is this real, or is this just in a movie? So they will be asking themselves all of these questions. Okay, and because they're asking themselves these questions is the reason why you appear, because you are the answer to all of these questions about love and twin flames and soulmates and stuff like that. Okay, because they will dabble into that energy. They will dabble into like how people met, and they will feel like, man, it always sounds so magical how people meet. I've never felt this magical energy in the air. Are they just, you know, like, are they just glorifying love? Is being married overrated, you know, or is this really something that brings, like when people say like meeting my husband or getting married was the most beautiful thing, or having my child was the most beautiful thing, your future spouse will ask themselves, are they just exaggerating, or just, you know, like seeing things from rose-colored glasses? Or is this really something that brings so much fulfillment to a person? Is it going to bring me more fulfillment than money? Is it going to bring me more fulfillment than success? So they want to know, because they feel like the success that they are experiencing does not fulfill them as much as they thought it would. So then they're on a quest, what does really fulfill me? And here you are. Okay, so this is your future spouse's energy as far as I can tell here. Now on your energy, I would not be surprised if you tell me that you felt a little bit confused lately, okay? Or this could be an energy where you tell me, oh no, I'm very clear-headed, I'm very clear-minded. This could be something that you will notice before you meet your future spouse, that you are a little bit like torn between two energies, two opinions, two sides, where you feel like how can I explain it, where you feel like maybe you get a little bit overwhelmed because you're so empathic that you pick up, like, let me tell you something. For some of you guys, this might be something that you're going through right now, and your spirit guides want to let you know the reason why you feel so confused is because you have an ability to telepathically know what a person is thinking about. Okay, so you hear people's thoughts, or you receive people's waves of energy and thoughts and stuff like that. Okay, so in that case, you might be hearing thoughts, or you might have thoughts in your mind that do not feel like they are your thoughts, because you are receiving telepathic communication from your future spouse. Is definitely something that I'm picking up here, but also maybe from other people, depending on where you are at, especially if you are somebody who does healing work and stuff like that. There's something about, like, you can hear telepathically, or when you look at a person, you don't just see this person's eyes and their voice, but you can also, in a very subtle way, hear this person's thoughts, or and then you ask yourself, that's weird, I never think about that, that's weird, this doesn't align with what I believe in, but I'm hearing it. Okay, so for some of you guys, Spirit wants to let you know that you have the ability to telepathically know what a person is thinking about, or some type of like telepathy energy where, again, you hear people, and you could confuse those thoughts as yours. Okay, just in the movie, like with Jim Carrey, I don't know which one this is called, where he's hearing all the prayers. Okay, so there could be an energy where you are ascending to the next level, especially if you do some type of healing work, especially if you're seeking for the truth, if you're seeking for God, if you want to know like why we are here, why humanity is here, if you're seeking alignment and fulfillment and being one with God, you would definitely ascend to a higher energy. But it almost feels like it makes you more sensitive to, it's like a gift, right? It's a gift to be able to telepathically understand or receive information, but it can also be something that will a little bit like, it will feel a little bit weird, because you will start to hear people's thoughts that are not yours. But when you don't know that you just hear people's thoughts that are not yours, let's say for example, you don't like drinking at all, you don't like drinking, and then let's say for example you have a roommate, and this roommate really likes drinking and you don't like drinking. Okay, and they don't necessarily tell you that they like drinking, but all of a sudden you're sitting in your room and you're thinking about, I want to drink something, I want to drink beer, and you're like, I don't even like beer. Why do I want to drink beer if I don't even like it? Okay, there could be an energy where your roommate is next to you in the apartment, and they're thinking about drinking beer, and they have this craving for beer, and because you're next to them, you receive the waves. It's interesting because dolphins, I think the movie Lucy is very significant when it comes to your meeting with your future spouse. I don't know what it is, but in the movie Lucy, she also has the ability to see certain things in a more heightened sense. But if you don't ground yourself, it's going to be a lot for you. It's going to confuse you. So the way dolphins communicate is through waves in the ocean. So they send out waves, the voice or the noise that they make sends out waves to other dolphins. That's how they communicate. This is what I'm picking up here. So you are receiving right now in this very moment, you might be receiving certain thoughts and certain energies from your future spouse, okay? But you might also be receiving energy from other people around you, where again you are able to, because you are going to a higher level, you're closer to God, you're closer to the universe, you're somehow ascending, you're going to the next level as a healer, you're going to the next level as a spiritual being, you're going to the next level as just, like your soul is awakening. It's going to a higher dimension, a higher energy, where there's a lot more possible, where telepathy is possible, where numerology and numbers mean something. It's not just numbers, they mean something, where you see everything through the lens of energy and stuff like that. For some of you guys, you maybe also have been, or you will be, around the time where you meet your future spouse, you will be drawn to kind of like quantum physics, you will be drawn to Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, you will be drawn to understand how things work, you will be drawn to go to the next level spiritually. You will feel the longing to know. You will feel the longing to know the truth. Okay, something about I want to know the truth. I want to know what it is really all about. Okay, there's an energy where you're going to be very, I'm also picking up for a lot of you guys around the time where you meet your future spouse, you will be also more drawn to witchcraft or practicing rituals, or you will be more drawn to kind of like occultism. And when I say occultism, this does not necessarily mean witchcraft. It just means hidden knowledge. What is hidden from us? What is really going on? Okay, an energy of like where you maybe find yourself being more into scientific studies, where you may be more into even like near-death experiences, or where you're more into like is telepathy possible? You know, like how did we live back in the days in ancient times and stuff like that? Because with the Knight of Wands is longing for an adventure. In this case, okay, for me this feels like in this case there's an energy of like magic, understanding magic, understanding synchronicities, being more drawn to practicing a spirituality. Even if you tell me I'm super duper spiritual, you will find yourself that you want to practice more of your spirituality, or that you need more time in nature, that you need more time meditating, that you need more time, you know, like doing rituals, or that you have more fun doing rituals, that you have more fun meditating, that even your meditation sessions are going to be a little bit differently than they used to be, especially if you do meditate, or you find yourself having the urge to meditate in the first place. Okay, beautiful pile number 2, that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to go to the extended now on Patreon, where I'm going to look at what should you focus on before you meet your future spouse, and how can you attract them into your life, or maybe even connect to them to the point where you see them in your dreams, hear their voice, or where you kind of like know more about them. Okay, so if you're interested in that, the link is down in the description box. If not, I'm going to see you in my next one, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful image here, and we're going to look at what your spirit guides want you to know about you meeting your future spouse and your true love, or you finally being united with the love of your life, the man or the woman you're meant to procreate with, that you're destined to be with, that you're destined to walk upon planet Earth with. Okay, if you didn't watch the intro, I would not necessarily go into timing. If you want to know why, you can watch the intro, because I don't want to repeat it over and over again. But what we're going to look at is everything that you need to know about the meeting. Okay, I was asking your spirit guides. My intention was that you get all the information that you need to have at this point in time, all the information that you need to have right here, right now, about you meeting your future spouse. It's kind of like we're going to tell you everything that you need to know, but if there's certain things that we don't tell you about, it's because you're not supposed to know it. If you catch my drift. Okay, so anything and everything that comes out here is what we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about where you will possibly be meeting. And I'm also going to talk about what is essentially bringing you guys together. Okay, so there could be an event, an energy, an event, a realization that is going to bring you and your future spouse together. Okay, which I'm not sure. It depends on how long this reading is going to become. If I'm going to talk about this on YouTube, or I'm going to talk about it on Patreon, which the link is down in the description box if you want to watch the extended, because in the extended I'm going to go a little bit deeper into how you can manifest your future spouse, or speed up the process, or what your spirit guides want you to focus on before the man or the woman of your dreams stands in front of you. And again, how can you manifest them? What is helping you guys to come together energetically? What can you do on your part to make sure that all the doors are open for this person to enter your life? Alrighty, that was a long intro. Let's begin your reading. I'm going to channel the energy first, and then I'm going to show you the cards here and there. Okay, so let's see what your spirit guides want you to know about you meeting the love of your life. First things first, I'm picking up an energy here that I would not be surprised if you tell me in hindsight, or even right now, that you see a lot. And I'm telling you, like, a lot of like mirroring numbers. So I'm not talking about 444, 555, 111. I'm also talking about like 39, 39, 72, 72, 2020, 10, 10. I mean, it's kind of like mirroring numbers is something that I'm picking up here that is going to be very significant as you meet your future spouse. It's going to be very, 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 very present right before you meet your spouse or right before you meet the love of your life. The reason why I say that is because you guys are going through similar energy, okay? Because I'm being brought to two people. I'm literally seeing like the both of you go through the same thing. It's like you go through the same thing. The only difference is what they go through has the color purple and what you go through has the color yellow, but it's kind of like it's the same t-shirt, but your t-shirt is yellow and their t-shirt is purple. That's literally what it feels like with you guys here. So you will have very similar stories about, I'm also hearing, guys, this is very weird, but again, it's just free flowing. It's an open-end question. What do you need to know? So Spirit is telling me that you meeting your future spouse is connected to you guys will end up in the same place, in the same room, in the same city, whatever. And the reason why you are there is the same. Now, it sounds like very, you know, like, of course it's the same thing, you know, like if I want to go to a restaurant, they're going to be there too. But if you think about it, it doesn't have to be. You could be there because of a birthday. They could be there because of like a loss or mourning or something along those lines. So what I'm hearing here is that you and your spouse, you go through the same thing. So I'm going to tell you the storyline. There is an energy where a person, you as well as your future spouse, you're trying to achieve something. You have a plan. This is what I'm going to do. Or even if you don't have a plan, you have a goal. This is where I want to be. And you might have an idea. I have an idea of how I'm going to get there. Doesn't matter what it is. And then you start to execute your ideas and your plans, and then you see, this does not work out as I thought. It's a little bit like, I'm hearing wonky. It's a little bit like, I thought this would go better. I'm also hearing success is not a straight line. It's like, it has a lot of ups and downs, okay? So something about like, what you thought would be a straight line or what you thought would be easier, even like the process of maybe relocating, and then all of a sudden you're like overwhelmed with paperwork, and then you think, okay, now I'm done with the paperwork, and then they send you a letter, you missed this and you missed that, and it's going to take 2 months longer for you to relocate. Just an example to express that energy here. Or you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get the job. I'm so sure of myself. And you already plan, I'm going to get the job. And then as I get the job, then by March, by April, I'm going to move into my new apartment with the money that I made from this job. And then it doesn't quite work out. You might get the job, but they might offer you a position that makes less money. And then you have to work longer to move into your new apartment. Does that make sense? It's kind of like nothing goes according to plan, or things don't go as you thought they would go. There's a little bit of like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit like, I'm not saying that what you want is not coming to you. I'm just saying that maybe the way it is coming to you is a little bit differently than you thought. Like it could even be like something is happening faster than you thought, and then it's like, oh, you know, like I found an apartment and it's such a good deal. It would be dumb for me to not take this offer, but that also means that I move out of my current place faster than I thought, and it's going to bring chaos into that situation. It's good, but it brings chaos because it's like there's something about, it's funny because the core of this reading is, it's not timing, but it's like what is happening around the timing where you meet your spouse, but there's something about the timing will be off. Oh man, I'm hearing the timing will be off with what you want to manifest, because it affects the timing where you meet your spouse. So meaning that if your relocation would go as planned, just an example, you would not be on the airport on the same day as your future spouse. So something about the timing is off in one area of your life for the timing to be right to meet your future spouse in your true love. Man, that's interesting what I'm picking up here. Very, very interesting. Give me a moment here, guys. Okay. So what you perceive as maybe blockages or more, it's more complicated, or it takes longer, or it's not a straight line as I thought, okay, or I thought I would overcome this faster. It's a blessing in disguise. Okay, it's a blessing in disguise. It changes your direction, but the change of direction is why you end up meeting your future spouse. And they go through the same thing, don't get me wrong, because on your future spouse's side, we have new ideas, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start, and your wish will not be granted, okay? So it's kind of like, oh, you know, like I want this, but it takes longer, it takes more effort, it takes more something. And then on your side, again, don't be scared, because it's a blessing in disguise. I'm gonna explain to you why. And here we have a goal-oriented person. You see, this person's like, oh, I want a fresh start, I want to live in a new city, I want a new life, a new job, a new something, but the wish is not granted. And then here it's kind of like, I have this goal in mind, but it says unsuccessful plans. The plans are only unsuccessful so that your success, the timing of your success, may it be successfully having an apartment, a job, or whatever it is, whatever is important for you to achieve right now, the timing is off. It's not your timing, because if everything would go according to you and what you want and your timing that you wish for, you would not be at the same place at the same time looking into the eyes of your true love and your future spouse, is what your spirit guides want you to know. So they're basically saying here, we know you are frustrated, or you might be in a frustrated situation when you meet your future spouse, but think in terms of, for one thing to align, okay, it affects a whole lot of other areas, okay? So it's not just your success, because out of your success comes you moving elsewhere, out of success comes you making certain decisions. And being brought to the movie Sliding Doors. One decision, one good news, it's good news, it's a blessing, but this good news could be the reason why you are in a different place at a different time. I'm seeing, this is so freaking like trippy, because now I'm seeing that you and your spouse are, let's say for example, you both are at a place. It's like, let's say I'm just gonna say something. Let's say Dunkin' Donuts, okay? Because I don't know what to think about. Let's say Dunkin' Donuts. You are in one Dunkin' Donuts and they are in one Dunkin' Donuts, okay? And I'm seeing like a vision where they show like a divide, or like a, you know, like this is the side where your future spouse is standing, he's on a phone, and this is where you are standing and you are on a phone. Okay, and then when you look at it, you could think, are they in the same Dunkin' Donuts, or are they in two different places in Dunkin' Donuts? Does that make sense? So there's something about, you're gonna feel like your life is a little bit chaotic, or things you have to like improvise as well as them. You both go through the same energy. It's kind of like you have to improvise, you have to think outside of the box. It's not as easy as you thought, so you have to improvise, you have to, you know, like incorporate new ideas, new strategies. You have to think differently, because the way that you thought didn't bring you the results and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like, okay, I'm up in the air, things are up in the air, things are a little bit more chaotic, because I can basically throw my plan into the trash because nothing went according to plan. So let me go with the flow, let me improvise is something that I'm picking up here. Okay, something about let me improvise. I'm hearing I cannot give up now. Let me improvise. I'm also hearing God didn't bring me this far only to bring me this far. Okay, so there's a strong emphasis on where the both of you are going to contemplate, what does success actually mean to me, and how do I get to what I want to manifest. It's kind of like an individual journey that you go on, but the core is the same. It's kind of like, I need to improvise because I plan, but the universe is doing different things. And then you might be asking yourself, just like your future spouse, you're both in the same energy, like, I don't think that the universe would make things more difficult for me without a reason. I'm also hearing maybe there's a reason why this didn't work out. Maybe there's a reason why it takes longer. Maybe there's a reason. So you might be asking yourself a lot of questions. I'm hearing, what was the reason? Kind of like, what is the reason for all of that taking place? Okay. Spirit is also showing me, I'm also going to talk about, because I'm picking up some type of information about your future spouse, which we're going to talk about in a second, but they're also telling me, because Spirit wants me to talk about where you guys meet. Okay, first, I don't know why. We have the 7 of Pentacles here, and they're showing me a person that is on an airport and you overslept and you come to the airport and you miss your flight. And the same thing happens to your future spouse. They also miss their flight and you're both in the waiting room, because I'm being brought to kind of like, you're gonna meet your future spouse in a period where you're waiting. You're waiting for documents, you're waiting for an approval from, you know, like the, how do you say that, the government. You're waiting for your new flight. You're waiting for a yes or a no. Something about I'm waiting. I'm here and I'm waiting. So for some of you guys, it could be literally a waiting room where you both wait for something, okay? And for others of you, I'm being brought to like, again, like an airport. You missed the flight, they missed the flight. And then you guys maybe talk, and then you're like, oh man, I missed my flight. I actually should already be in Venezuela or whatever. And they're like, yeah, the same happened to me. Like, I also missed my flight and stuff like that. And then you guys exchange and then you guys talk. For some odd reason, I feel like for some of you guys, it could be literally an airport. It doesn't have to be, but it's kind of like, now I'm sitting here, or something about the schedule, something is being rescheduled. Let's say, for example, something is being rescheduled. Okay, so when things, it's funny, but Spirit is telling you, when things don't go according to plan, there's a high chance of unexpected things taking place. Because if you have a plan, everything is expected. But if you see that, I don't know why I'm grinning like that, but they're saying if you see that things don't go according to plan, there's a high chance of unexpected things coming your way. Does that make sense? It's the same frequency. If you didn't expect something to go this way, there's a high chance of more unexpected things to come on that day. Now, they're telling me, again, there's an emphasis on I'm waiting for something. So I'm waiting for an approval, I'm waiting for them. You guys are both waiting on the same thing or something similar or something along those lines here. So, oh yeah, we talked about it, like something is being rescheduled. So you're like, okay, my doctor's appointment was at 3 o'clock, but they rescheduled it for 5 o'clock. What am I gonna do with my time now? And then you're just strolling through a mall. Like, it was not your plan to go to the mall, but because you have to wait 2 more hours to get to the doctor, you go to the mall. And then your future spouse, they actually were supposed to hold a presentation or do something and it gets canceled. So they're like, oh, you know what, let me go to the mall. You know, I didn't treat myself in a long time. Let me get new shoes. And then you're both there because something got canceled, something got rescheduled, if that makes sense. And you're both waiting for maybe a call back or updates or something along those lines. I don't know what the fuck that means, okay? It's very cryptic, but you're gonna know when it's time. Let me see what else Spirit wants you to know. I feel a strong emphasis that, and also make sure that you decipher or decide what is your energy, okay? Because I'm picking up on 2 energies and you have to decide, is this your energy or is this the energy of your future spouse? So I'm picking up one person here. One person here. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Your spirit guides are kind of funny, okay? Because they're seeing you being frustrated with something not working out, but they're smiling because they're saying, listen, honey, you were praying for the love of your life and this is part of you meeting the love of your life. This is not working, at least not now. It doesn't mean that it's not gonna work like for the rest of your life, but it's not working right now. Okay, so they're showing me that somebody here, I feel like it's your future spouse, there's an energy of like they're being bombarded with wedding. They might be seeing that a lot of people around them are getting married. They might see a lot of like advertisement for a proposal. Do you know what it feels like to me? For me, this feels like as if their spirit guides, the spirit guides of your future spouse, are communicating to them something about like this. Listen, there's this energy of like, why is this happening to me? What was the reason? What was the reason? And the reason is true love. The reason is you're about to meet the love of your life. You're about to meet the man or the woman that you will marry. You are about to meet this person, and you're like, what was the reason? What was the reason? Does that make sense? So it's kind of like your future spouse is asking themselves, why is shit not working out for me? What am I doing wrong? And then spirit is saying, you're not doing anything wrong, but you need to be a little bit more flexible with timing, okay? So your future spouse is in the energy where they're kind of like, again, bombarded with like advertisement of like, they're asking spirit or God, what was the reason? And then all of a sudden they see like weddings everywhere and people proposing and people getting married and people getting pregnant and stuff like that. It's all around them. It's all around them, okay? Because with the 10 of Cups, for me, this feels like there's some type of like wedding energy all around them, like proposal energy, wedding energy is all around your future spouse. They see it fucking everywhere, and then they start to realize, I see that everywhere, like everybody's getting married. I see like advertisement for engagement rings. I don't even have a partner right now. I'm not even married, but they start to like realize that there's a lot of like as if an angel of love is around them. So there could be an energy where your future spouse is like very much focused on self, which is not a bad thing, but it's almost this energy of like they're focused on, I need to get my shit together, or I want a fresh start. I want a fresh start. But spirit is saying your fresh start is gonna start with pile number 2. But your future spouse thinks first they have their fresh start and then they meet you, but it's somehow connected. I don't know how to explain it. It's gonna make sense when you meet your future spouse, but they're like, I want a new job, or I want a new apartment, I want to be in a new place, I want to relocate, I want to move, okay? And it's not working. The reason is you're meant to be on a journey with them, with this fresh new start, okay? It says new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. You see, so there's an energy of like, they think they have to do one thing first before they meet you, or before they're open for marrying and stuff like that, when in actuality, again, it's unexpected. The structure of how things are happening is that you're gonna be there and then their new start is beginning. God damn it, I don't know how else to explain it, to be honest with you guys. Okay. There's something about they feel like they need to build something before they meet you, but you're meant to build with them. So I don't know what in the world that means. To build a new reality, to build an apartment, it's this energy of like as if your future spouse wants to make a decision about their life. But in spirit, you guys are already married. So your decision or your opinion is important, but that's something that your future spouse doesn't know consciously. Their soul knows, but they don't know consciously that before they make a decision, a big one, because I feel like it's a big one, that you have to be somehow present, because you're going to influence their decision and in fact also influence their future. It's definitely a sliding doors moment, if you guys know that movie. If not, just Google it. It's called Sliding Doors, okay, where there's two realities that are present, and what changes the outcome is just one word, one sentence, one kiss, one something, okay? With you guys, I'm picking up an energy here with the 6 of Wands. Again, this could be you or this could be them, but I feel like for both of you, it's like both of you want to achieve something, like both of you want to like see your success in front of you materialized. And it's this energy of like, wait a minute, your future spouse has a say, like this person has a say, or this person's they're gonna influence where you're gonna go somehow, some way, okay? Now with the Six of Wands and the Three of Cups, yeah, there's something about I want to celebrate my success, I want to be celebratory, or there could be an energy. You know what it also feels like for me? For me, this also feels like where Spirit wants you both to celebrate your success together. I don't know what the heck they're meaning, to be honest with you guys, but I'm hearing like being successful together or celebrating together, or something about, no, you guys are going to do this together. It's not you both separately, it's about you both together, doing this together, experiencing this together, or celebrating this together. Okay, let me see what else is coming through here, guys. What Spirit wants you to know. Let's see what that is about. We have here the card Sacrificing the Ego, Agree to Disagree. You could also be in an energy around the time where you meet your future spouse, where you find yourself in a lot of disagreements, but not necessarily to cause like trouble or drama. It's just, this is my truth and I want to live my truth. So you could be finding yourself, or it could be your future spouse, depending on what you feel like is in alignment with you. You could find yourself like maybe even disagreeing with the universe, or disagreeing with like people, disagreeing with people's opinion. Yeah, your spirit guides are here. Something about agreeing to disagree, where around the time before you meet your future spouse, you will understand that you no longer agree with something or somebody, or that you truly and fully want to embrace your individual opinion, which will bring people that will disagree with you, but you are strong and firm in what you believe in, if that makes sense. Okay, or again, an energy where you're going to realize that you no longer are on the same wavelength with people and you disagree, but it's in a harmonious way. It's like a let's agree to disagree here. Okay, or where you realize that you no longer want to approve of certain things, or silence yourself, or not voice your opinion. In fact, you want to shake the table, you want to voice your opinion. You're no longer a sheep, you know, like you just want to express who you truly are, even if that means that you piss people off, that you trigger people, because sometimes truth is more important than peace. But I'm also hearing choose your battles wisely. Okay, let's see what else your spirit guides want you to know. Again, I'm also going to look at what is essentially going to bring you guys together. Yeah, this is what I'm going to look at next here. Let me see. What should pile number 2 know about them meeting their true love and their future spouse? Okay. Something about passing a test. I'm also hearing... Okay, listen to me. I'm also hearing there's something going on with like, I don't know what this means, guys. Again, this is going to be very, very like your unique experience, but I'm hearing like you're going to be happy because you received the letter, because you received the yes, you received the okay, but you received the yes, the approval, the okay from a government, from something, okay? Because there's something about documents are going to be significant, or you being approved is going to be significant, or something about like you receiving a yes is going to be significant in that situation, or you passing a test, or you being successful with something that you kind of like give to somebody else and they have to approve of whether or not it's going to work. I don't know what that means. Okay, but it's kind of like as you meet your future spouse, I'm hearing everything is going to happen simultaneously. So you might be getting your approval, you might be getting your yes, you might be getting your visa, you might be getting something around the time where you meet your future spouse. So it's kind of like you meet your spouse, and you might be in an energy where you're a little bit frustrated about something not being there yet. And then your spouse is in your life, and as they are in your life, that's when you get the yes. That's when you no longer have to wait. I have no idea. I'm so sorry that it's so vague and cryptic, but I don't know what this means, okay? Something about receiving a happy letter, or being very, very happy with what you read, or with like the feedback that you get from somebody or something here. And it's like, oh, I felt so stuck so long, and now this person is in my life, and now I'm getting the approval, now I'm getting the yes, now things start to like, I've been waiting for this letter for like 3 months. Okay, so something along those lines is going on here. Okay. There could also be an energy where somebody here is gonna be receiving a lot of information about the future. I'm talking about 10 years, 5 years. Somebody's going to be very, very connected to their future self, or you might be very connected to future self. How do you say that? Future self? Pick a card readings, or maybe even past life regression, or something about you're going to be very interested into the future, like futuristic things. How's the universe going to look like in 100 years, in like 200 years? What is going to be able to, like, what will cars look like, or something along those lines? So there's also strong emphasis on being very, very drawn to either the past. I'm talking about ancient Greece, I'm talking about ancient Kemet, okay, but at the same time also something about like futuristic, the moon landing, Tesla, conspiracy theories about like will we be able to live on Mars or something along those lines. This is also something that is going to be very, very present as you, or before you meet your future spouse here. There's something about when the past meets the future, it births the present. What the? I don't even know what I'm talking. What does that even mean? Your spirit guides are saying you're gonna know what it means when it's time. I don't know. One more. How's this meeting gonna happen? I'm telling you, this is gonna be around the time, again, you're gonna feel like, I have been trying to get this right for so long. You're either gonna get something right, you're either gonna win, get the approval, something, you're either gonna succeed just a few days before you meet your future spouse, or just a few days after you met them, but it's definitely gonna be in the same month. Like, you have been trying to, I don't know, like reach some type of goal for months, for years, and it didn't work. You tried and tried and tried and tried, it didn't work. You meet your future spouse, it could be like 2 weeks before you meet them, or 2 weeks after you met them, you see like changes. It's like, finally I'm successful with this. There's something about you're gonna win or be very celebratory around the time where you meet your future spouse, or it's an indication that this is really your true love, where you feel like things are finally working out in my life. It's actually their energy though. It's kind of like their energies bring success to you, your energies bring success to them. So you're both gonna win simultaneously, or you're both gonna be in an energy where like a dream of yours is manifesting in front of their eyes, a dream of theirs is gonna manifest in front of your eyes. So it's something about like, oh man, what a coincidence that both of our dreams or things that we wanted to manifest in the same time frame, in the same month, just as we met. Something along those lines here. Okay, now let's look at the energy. I want to talk about like what is going to bring you guys, essentially going to bring you guys together. Okay, it's funny because we have the card here, stability and freedom. So for a lot of you guys, maybe you have been striving to be like stable in some things. Could be like to really be freaking solid as a rock, solid as a mountain with your finances, where you don't worry whatsoever, or to be really, really solid and really, really like grounded in your confidence, and nothing nobody says is shaking your confidence, and you have been longing for that, or you have been longing to have so much faith that nobody can shake your faith, and nobody with a different opinion, we talked about it, agreeing to disagree, where nobody with a different opinion can make you feel insecure, and you have been longing to have this unshakable faith that moves mountains. Okay, this is something that is going to manifest around the time where you meet your future spouse. It's somehow connected to each other. It's going to be in the same week, in the same month, in the same time frame. Okay, an energy of like, I have been praying to finally live in one place and one place only, without me having to move here and there and here and there, or to really be stable in one job, in one position. Okay, something about like that I'm no longer afraid of tomorrow, or I'm no longer afraid of like that I can withstand the storm is something that I'm hearing. Okay, so a lot of you guys, there's an emphasis on like a shaky ground and being solid, like solid as a rock, solid as a mountain, or shaky. I'm also hearing seasick. So I'm being brought to like, oh, I'm being brought to a ship that is like that where there's a lot of waves, and the ship is like, you know, making motions that make you sick, kind of like this energy of like the unknown, the not knowing when you're going to arrive on the island, where you have like solid ground beneath your feet has been making you feel sick. Or it could even be your future spouse, but it could also be you, somebody here. Okay, and there's a strong emphasis on somehow it's all connected. You meeting them and you finally feeling solid. You finally feeling that something is done. It is done. It is solidified. It is as solid as a rock. Okay, I'm finally on the island. I'm no longer seasick. Okay, somehow it is connected. And I know I talk very cryptic, but there's no other words that Spirit is bringing to me right now. There could also be an energy where somebody here is going to be more drawn to swimming, more drawn to like a self-care routine, but I'm talking over the top, like literally with like cucumbers on your eyes. I'm also being brought to like spa energy, going to the sauna, an energy of like swimming, an energy of like something about taking care of your skin, or something about changing your skincare routine, your hair care routine. But I'm also again being brought to a spa. I'm also being brought to like, I don't know, whirlpools, or something about a pool, or something about being very focused on getting your figure back. Okay, or preparing yourself for, I'm also being preparing yourself for summer season. Oh yeah, most definitely. Somebody could also be here very, very focused on preparing themselves for summer. I'm picking up the energy. This could be connected to you or connected to your future spouse. Somebody here is also very much focused on coming back into shape, because now the broken wishbone reminds me of somebody who's like literally, you know, like breaking a bone. And when you break a bone, you cannot walk, or you cannot maybe go to the gym, or you walk less, which also means that you you know, gain weight. So there could be an emphasis that somebody here wants to lose weight, or gain muscle back, or become stronger, get back your stamina because of like an injury, or because of a health issue. And that somebody is only gonna be in the dating pool or available, or like the door of the heart is only open, or is gonna open as they start to get their strength back, their stamina back, as they get their body into shape here. Okay, something like that is also gonna be very significant, that is gonna bring you guys together, like you being in shape, or you being deeply, deeply connected to your naked body. Or you being very deeply connected to your skin, to your hair, to your nails, or something along those lines is very significant, as well as fighting for stability, or enduring until you are stable. Kind of like, I'm going to endure until I am stable, until I reach the island. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to continue. Something about, I will continue until I win. I will continue until I succeed. You both have the same energy here. Okay, there's definitely an emphasis on healing from an injury. Now this could even be like a financial injury, or recovering. We talked about that in a different reading, where I talked about something about recovery here. Okay, so you recovering from something, and they recovering from something is going to bring you guys together. So if you ask yourself, why have I not met my future spouse yet? They are recovering from something. Okay, this could be physically, this could be financially, this could be emotionally, this could be like soulfully. Okay, where you both will have to recover from something before you guys meet each other. So the more you focus on your recovery, whatever the heck that means to you, the closer you are to your future spouse, because that's what they're focusing on as well. Okay, because we have the card here, I knew it the moment I heard your voice. So there could be an emphasis here where your spouse is still in the energy of figuring out what really represents them. So still in the energy of like discovering who they are. I'm also hearing until then I don't want to, something about like until, I'm seeing a shell here, a seashell. So somebody, I don't know, somebody here is connected to the ocean, a seashell. I'm being brought to shells. Why am I seeing that? Let me see. Oh. Do you know what it reminds me of? It's so funny because it says, I knew it the moment I heard your voice, and now Spirit is bringing me to the Disney movie Ariel. Okay, so Ariel the sea mermaid could be significant. It could mean something to you. Is there anything else to that? And it's a ship in the ocean, isn't it? Oh man, look at that. So this could be a significant movie that some, yeah, your spirit guides are here. This could be like a significant movie where there's some type of like, or you might be seeing Ariel or mermaids or sea creatures or something about the ocean is gonna follow you. It's gonna be like reoccurring over and over again where you see things that are connected to that. I'm also being brought to seafood here. Somebody could crave seafood right before they meet their future spouse. This is very random here, okay? But the energy again that is going to bring you guys together is that you guys are gonna somehow create stability in your life, as well as they're going to create their stability in their life, but it's somehow connected. It's like you both are going to celebrate being stable in something as you guys are meeting each other. It's going to be a very significant chapter in your life. I'm finally stable. I'm finally free of worrying. I'm finally free of like being scared. Okay, because I'm stable. It's solidified. It's done. I'm grounded. I'm here. Okay, my prayers move mountains. Something about like a mountain cannot be moved. Even if somebody says, I don't like the fucking mountain, the mountain is not going to move. Okay, beautiful pile number 2. That's all I have for you guys. I'm going to go to the extended now on Patreon, where I'm going to look at what should you focus on before you meet your future spouse, and how can you attract them into your life, or maybe even connect to them to the point where you see them in your dreams, hear their voice, or where you kind of like know more about them. Okay, so if you're interested in that, the link is down in the description box. If not, I'm going to see you in my next one, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3. Last but not least, you chose this beautiful. Is that even correct? What am I doing here? So if you did not watch the intro, we're gonna look at, I was asking your spirit guides, my intention with this reading was, what do you need to know right now in this very moment about meeting your true love and meeting your future spouse and the love of your life? So I'm not going to go into timing, the exact day, the exact minute that you're going to meet them. Okay, if you want to know why, watch the intro. I explained why I'm not going into timing. Okay, but I'm going to go into what is happening or what you need to know. So this is a very open reading where whatever information is significant for you to hear right now about your true love and your future spouse and you meeting them is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so my beautiful pile number 3, you chose this beautiful image here. I'm going to channel the energy first, okay, and then I'm going to show you the cards, or we're just going to look at what I'm seeing here. Give me a moment. And me holding your picture upside down is exactly what is going on here. Okay, especially I see the energy of your future spouse and I see the energy of you. I just don't know who you are. Okay, so if I describe your future spouse and it sounds like you, it just means that when I describe the other energy, which is supposed to be you, that you just have to flip the, do you say that? You just have to flip the roles, okay? Because I don't know who is who, but I see both energies here. So I'm picking up, I'm just going to say your future spouse, okay? I'm seeing the energy that you're meeting your future spouse is somehow connected to their world being upside down. Okay, Spirit is saying the reason why you have not yet, oh man, your spirit guides were here, jeez Louise. Okay, so some of you guys maybe have had this question in your head, why did I not meet my true love and my future spouse yet? The reason is that their life is very much upside down. Okay, so there's a strong emphasis on, how can I explain that energy? Your future spouse is currently going through an energy where they leave everything behind and start something new. I'm being brought to kind of like when you want to renovate your kitchen. I don't know why this is coming through. Maybe somebody is here standing in the kitchen watching me right now, but I'm being brought to kind of like when you redecorate your kitchen, but I'm being brought to like somebody, I'm being brought to somebody like tearing the wall apart in a house so that the room becomes bigger. So it's a lot of mess. It's a lot of like, it's like upside down. There's an energy of like what your future spouse is going through, an energy where everything is upside down. So there could be like a career change that is 360. I don't know, from a doctor to an artist, or from an artist to a doctor. An energy of like them moving, which is probably where you are, or something along those lines, moving to a city or a country where they don't know the language, which is completely upside down, or them transitioning from being employed to being self-employed, which is also a huge upside down energy. You have to get used to that, right? There's a strong energy here where your future spouse is going through huge changes right now, like moving to a different country, completely changing their career, their profession, unlearning and relearning certain things here. Okay, they're going through a huge expansion. Like, I'm hearing their life. Like, if they tell you what they've done like 5 years ago or where they lived, it's like the opposite of who they are and where they live when you meet this person. This could even be a person who was very materialistic, didn't believe in spirituality, and then something happens and they completely change. Like, their whole life changes, their friend circle changes, where they live changes, their job changes. Do you see where I'm coming from? It's like a huge transformation where they're no longer the person that they used to be. I'm hearing the song, now let me upgrade. I definitely hear the song Upgrade. I don't know, is it by Beyonce? Something about an upgrade here. So, before you meet your future spouse, or as you are meeting your future spouse, for a lot of you guys, this person will probably tell you, I just moved here. I just moved into my new apartment. I just moved, or I just transitioned to this new job, this new career, or I just got self-employed. Something about this change that they go through, it's kind of like you didn't meet your future spouse because they go through a big change, and once they kind of feel safe in their new environment, in their new something is when you meet them. So they would definitely express to you like, I just moved here, my apartment is still empty, I'm still getting my furniture, I'm still learning the language, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do something. I still don't know how to get this paperwork done, something along those lines. There's a strong emphasis for a lot of you guys. I feel like your future spouse is moving to your city, or you're going to meet them as they are moving. I strongly feel like they're moving to where you are at. Let me tell you, if you tell me that you want to relocate and move to a different city, a different neighborhood, I feel like you might meet them there, because I'm seeing that you are in a new environment and they are in a new environment as well. This could be across country, this could be in a different city, this could also be in a different neighborhood. So something about like, I'm new here. I'm hearing I'm new here, but I'm also hearing that you will say the same thing, I'm new here. Okay, so you definitely meet your future spouse in a place that you've never been to before, or is very unfamiliar to you. It's a new neighborhood, it's a new city, it's a new country, but I'm hearing that you both live there. So it does not look like vacation. It could be, but for me it feels like you both live there. Okay, so you could be moving to the same city, or you both could be in an energy where you want to move, but you don't know where. You want to relocate, you want to get out of your country, but you don't know where to go. And you're both going to talk about it like, man, I don't like living here. And you're like, I don't like living here as well. Or I'm new here, and then I'm new here too. Something like that is very significant here. Yeah, where somebody does not want to live where they're at anymore. I don't know what that means. Most definitely, somebody here is not happy about where they live. So there's something about relocation, moving, changing neighborhood, changing your apartment that is strongly connected to your future spouse, strongly connected to you guys meeting. It's definitely a strong emphasis on, I don't know this place, I don't know this language, I'm new here, I'm trying to reorganize my life. And I feel like you both have the same energy, to be honest with you, just different. It's the same with pile number 2, where them being new in a place is like, you both have the same t-shirt on. Their t-shirt is blue and your t-shirt is white. It's the same t-shirt, but yours is white and theirs is blue. Okay, so you both go through this energy of like, I'm new here, I just got a new job, I just moved into this new apartment, it's the first time that I'm at this park, at this bar, at this restaurant. I've never been here before. This is somehow connected to your meeting. It's new. I'm hearing brand new. Somebody here could also be focused on building a brand. Just for somebody here, okay? If it rings a bell inside of you. Let me see what else is going on here. It's interesting. I cannot make this up. On your future spouse's side, we have the lion, time to act. And then on your side, we have tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. So if you have seen lions or tigers, it's a strong connection, or it's somehow connected to your future spouse, like the spirit animal tiger or lion is connected to your future spouse. I don't know why. It's gonna make sense to somebody here. I'm also seeing fruits like cherries, and I'm also hearing cherries, plums, peaches, and I'm also hearing mimosa. Why am I hearing that? I'm hearing tequila. Somebody here could like to drink, or somebody here's very, thrilled, or very like, how do you say that? Very interested in mixing cocktails, even like non-alcoholic, okay? Just for somebody here, it's a confirmation that this is your pile, okay? Somebody here is also going on a plane very soon and traveling. I think it's like a weekend trip or something along those lines. Somebody here is also going on a plane very soon. Or it could be connected to your future spouse. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's like you both live in this place, but there's something very, very new in your life that you have to adjust to and adapt. Yeah, your spirit guides are here. So isn't it interesting? The lion and the tiger, they're very much related. Their energy is very similar. They come from the same soul tribe, you see? You and your spouse, as you are meeting, you're both in the energy of being fearless, being bold, and doing something that takes a lot of courage. You taking a risk, you are going to take a risk on your side. I don't know what you're going to do. It says doing something risky, taking a chance. So you could be like, fuck it, I'm going to be self-employed. I'm just going to see how it's going to work out. Fuck it, I'm going to move to a different apartment. Fuck it, I'm going to quit my job and find a new one. Fuck it, I'm going to relocate. Fuck it, I'm going to take a break at work, or I'm just gonna I have a lot of money in my funds, so let me travel for 3 months. Does that make sense? Kind of because energy of like, it's a fuck it energy. Fuck it, we only live once, we're not gonna get out of this life anyway. So there's an energy where you're gonna take a risk. Okay, this risk could also be, fuck it, I'm gonna cut my hair. Fuck it, I'm gonna put extension in my hair. Fuck it, I'm gonna wear the shoes that I always wanted to wear, that I was always insecure about wearing. Fuck it, I'm gonna put red lipstick on my lips because this is how I feel right now, and I used to be insecure about it, but now I'm bold and fierce. And like, there's an energy where you are in a very bold, fierce, fearless, fuck it, I want to do something risky. I want to be alive. I want to feel alive. And security is an illusion because you don't know what tomorrow brings. So let me carpe diem today. That's the type of energy that I pick up here from you. So there could be an energy where you are going to do some drastic changes, cutting your hair super short, getting very long hair, changing your style, changing your outfit, changing your career, taking a risk on, you know, becoming self-employed, taking a risk on a second or third source of income, a side hustle, a business, moving elsewhere. I'm also hearing a solo trip. So somebody here could be going on vacation on a solo trip. Like you want to go to... You want to go to Panama, okay? So you want to go to Panama and you have nobody that is going to come with you. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to go on a solo trip. Of course, always be careful. Let everybody know where you're at any point in time. I'm having a deja vu right now. So you could also experience a lot of deja vus before you meet your future spouse. Like, it's a lot. Like, you can really see that it's happening on a daily basis or something along those lines. But what I'm picking up here is pile number 3. There's a strong emphasis on I feel risky and I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to embrace this risky energy because we're not going to get out alive. Like, we're going to die anyway. So why act as though there is such a thing as security? Just to a certain extent, but is there really such a thing as security? Okay. The same with your future spouse. They're also going to feel like, fuck it. Lions don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. They're going to do something that people tell this person not to do. Don't quit your job. Don't cut your hair. Something about embracing change, but in the most fearless, bold, ambitious, confident energy as possible. Where you're both like, fuck this shit. Like, I don't want to be a beautiful cage in a golden... I don't want to be a beautiful bird in a golden cage. I want to fly freely. And if that means I leave behind my golden cage, then so be it. And if I make a mistake, then so be it. But at least know what is on the other side of fear. What is on the other side of fear? This is exactly what is going on here with your future spouse as well as with you. What is on the other side of fear? What is on the other side of fear is your true love and your future spouse and you guys meeting. The 3 of Wands could actually be a trip or like going on vacation. Do you see that here? It's kind of like when you go up the stairs to go on a plane. Is something that I'm picking up here. Okay. So you're going to do something that you've always dreamed of. I'm hearing you're going to do multiple things. It's kind of like a bucket list or like a to-do list. What would I do if I was not afraid? And then it's like a list. And then you cross things off of your list. May that be just with your mind, your soul, and your spirit, or literally like a list that you have in front of you. What would I do if I was not afraid? Which is beautiful. I actually have to keep that in mind. That's a beautiful idea. Okay. And then your future spouse has the same energy. What would I do if I was not afraid? I would move elsewhere. I would quit my job. I would try this. I would try that. I would write a book. I would, go to a seminar. I would do this and I would do that. So you're both in that energy. What would I do if I was not afraid? And because you don't let fear hold you back, okay, and you overcome your fear and you start doing things that you were afraid of or that were risky or that were somehow connected to a drastic change, and you embrace it, is the reason why you meet your future spouse. Because you're both fed up with the same old. You're both fed up with this lie that staying in a golden cage is more fulfilling than flying freely. I feel a strong attitude here. Somebody has a strong attitude. Okay. Let's look at where you're gonna... I know your reading is a little bit shorter than the other ones, but it's straight to the point. Do you see where I'm coming? It's like there's no question, no what ifs. It's straight to the point. It's very clear. This is the energy that I pick up here, that the both of you will have. And look at that energy, as if those two people just moved in together into this apartment. And it says a masterpiece has been created. I'm also hearing a work in progress. Okay, and on your side, we have walk into a new direction to meet your future spouse. The spirit is letting you know the more you walk into a new direction, the more you embrace the new you, the you that you would fall in love with yourself, like the version of you that you would fall in love with yourself. And I'm not just talking about like the way that you look, but I'm also talking about like, if I was not me and I would meet me and I would see how fierce and bold I am, I would immediately fall in love. Okay, this is the energy that I pick up here. The spirit is saying as you walk into a new direction, that's where you meet your future spouse. They're walking in the same direction. It's like they're tired of the same bullshit and you're tired of the same bullshit. So you meet at a new place. Okay. Yeah, look at that. It says a journey either physical or mental, where somebody here is breaking the cycle of fear mentally, and therefore your actions are changing in your life, in your reality, and therefore everything is changing because your decisions come from a place of trusting the universe, trusting in love, and feeling like we're gonna die anyway, so why do I have to be in this golden cage? That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, to fully embrace like the wild side, the wild nature that you have inside of you. Now, I also got some cards talking about where you will meet your future spouse. We have the 7 of Cups here. Now, when you look at it at first glance, hold on guys, I don't know if you can, oh yeah, that's good. I don't know if you can see something here, but excuse me, at first glance, it looks like you could be meeting at a party, at a bar, somewhere where you can buy cocktails, may that be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. I'm also seeing a glass table. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're probably gonna meet your true love and your future spouse while you're partying, while you're drinking a drink, while you're ordering a cocktail, a mojito, sex on the beach or something along those lines. It could also be an energy of like while you're dancing, you're going out to dance. This could be something about that is involving music, lights, something about like, yeah, I'm also hearing flashing lights. I'm hearing, isn't there a song called Flashing Lights by Kanye West? I don't know what he says in the lyrics, but it could be significant here for somebody. So something about flashing lights, something about like a lot of different lights, different colors. I'm seeing blue, I'm seeing red, I'm seeing green. Okay, where people enjoy themselves. So people do drink there, people do dance there, there's a lot of colors. People take out their best clothing, or they put on the shoes that they usually would not wear because it's not an everyday occasion. So it's not an everyday occasion. This is definitely about partying, going out to have a drink, even to have a drink by yourself. It doesn't have to be that you are at a party or something like this. It could just be like you're just in a new country and you just sit there and you're like, okay, let me get like a mojito and I just want to sit here by the water and just look at the water. Okay, it doesn't have to be like a big party where you're gonna meet this person, but it has something to do with like ordering a drink, drinking something about it's very tropical, very fruity, or just, you know, I'm also hearing just enjoying the view, or something about enjoying the music, enjoying your cocktail, enjoying the lights, enjoying the colors. Okay, something like that. And then I was asking what is essentially going to bring you guys together. Okay, the energy that is going to bring you guys together, the energy that is going to bring you guys together is making your imagination a reality, whatever the heck that means to you. It could be the haircut that you always wanted to have in your imagination. It could be the place that you always wanted to be at in your imagination. Something about making your imagination a reality. For some of you guys, I'm also seeing here like dressing like the person that you want to, like something about embracing your imagination with the way that you dress. Okay, so where you invest into new clothing, or you even design new clothing. Somebody here is definitely a fashion designer, or somebody here is into fashion designing, somebody here is into fashion, somebody here is into like, I don't know, you like to look good, or it's something that you want to embrace a little bit more. I'm also hearing dress to impress. But I'm also hearing it's not dressing to impress other people, it's dressing to impress yourself. Wow, I can look this good. Wow, this looks so good on me. Okay. Something about what is going to bring you guys together is that you follow, that you walk the talk, that you follow your ideas, that you follow your imagination, that you follow like your visions, that you create the dress that you have in your mind, that you buy this plane ticket just like in your imagination, that you get this haircut just like in your imagination, that you rent this art studio just like in your imagination. Something about when you focus on, when your imagination becomes your reality, when your imagination is no longer just living in your mind, it's actually materializing in front of yourself and in front of other people. Okay, where there's also something about like that you become your own dream woman, kind of like, if who would I be if I was my own dream woman, and then you become that. And there, like, your future spouse is doing the same thing here, okay? And as you reach a point of satisfaction, I'm also hearing, I'm being brought to the song Kylie Minogue, I just can't get you out of my head. And she's like, she's dancing and she's free. I feel like you're gonna be in that type of energy, dancing and being free and being very content with who you are. Not perfect, I'm never talking about perfect, but just content and satisfied with who you are. Okay? Something about, I'm so satisfied with my jeans, I'm so satisfied with my butt, I'm so satisfied with my decisions, I'm so satisfied with my lip color, I'm so satisfied with the new energy that I embrace. I'm so satisfied with me learning a new language and becoming better and better and better at it. Something about when you're satisfied with yourself from a soul level, okay? Not just like satisfied on paper, but from a soul level, the heart. It's like, you know what? I actually am very satisfied with all the changes that I've made, and I'm so proud of myself that I've made all these changes and that I didn't let fear stop me. And it's the same with your future spouse, and then it's like, whoop! We met each other on the other side of fear, okay? Here are beautiful pile number 3. I'm going to extend this reading now on Patreon. I'm going to look at what can you do in order to manifest your future spouse, so somehow to kind of like speed up the process, or to make sure that you are doing your part in meeting your future spouse, okay? Or an energy, what you should be focusing on, or what is going to really help you on your journey to meeting your future spouse, and what you should be focusing on before this lovely man, this lovely woman stands in front of you. Okay, so if you're interested in that, the link is down in the description box. If not, I'm going to see you in my next one, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye!